I've been scammed. 2 years ago, I put all my savings into a crypto project with a bright future, but it turned out pretty bad. Even when you think there is no chance you will ever get scammed, there is high probability that you will. In 2023, Americans lost 1.5 billion to these frauds, and the number is constantly growing. To prevent this, I've done some research and prepared 10 useful tips on how to avoid every scam possible. If you apply each of them, I can guarantee that you won't ever lose a single dollar. But you have to listen, because we'll get much deeper than just basic understanding of how rug pull projects work. Nowadays we have a coin for everything, even every dog has its own coin. Oh, and when the presidential election comes, expect to see coins like Donald and Biden pumping. These are definitely projects you should have money in. Of course, that was a joke. Close that exchange if you were about to buy them. Coins like this often have no future. You can't truly believe that a Yorkshire coin will make you a millionaire. That just doesn't happen. It's like playing poker, but in poker you have at least a chance to win. And even if it does a massive candle, you won't be able to cash out. This brings us to the first point on my list, liquidity. All good projects should be liquid. What does that mean? Liquidity is basically how quickly you can buy or sell an asset. In 2021, Tesla sold 10% of its Bitcoin holdings. Why? They were testing liquidity. Having value is one thing, but what if there are no buyers when you need them? Let's say you invested in Shiba Coin and now you sit on $1 million bag of Shiba Coins. If you decide to sell them, you need to find buyers willing to spend a total of $1 million. And even if you find some buyers, that's not the only challenge. As soon as you start selling those coins, the price begins to drop. The more the price decreases, the more people start selling their coins. In just a day, you could end up with 90% of your coins still left, but they might be only worth $100. This happens very often, and people simply ignore this. To become a millionaire from a meme coin, you would need to find a coin that pumps overnight and keeps its momentum long enough for you to sell it. And that happens very rarely. But if you make a bag overnight and that bag keeps still growing, why would you sell it, right? The second important thing is that its liquidity should be locked. For this example, let's break down how crypto projects work. When a developer creates a project, they put coins into something called liquidity pool. Then, they pair the token with another cryptocurrency like Ethereum. When someone buys their coin, the buyer simply puts Ethereum into the pool and takes the coin they wanted to buy. But if the developer takes all the Ethereum from the pool, there won't be any Ethereum left for people who want to sell. If those initial buyers decide to sell their tokens, they cannot do it because there is nothing to exchange them for. This is also how rug pulls work. Developers simply take everything of value from the liquidity pool they created. To prevent this, you should always check if the project you want to invest in has its liquidity locked. If it does, the developer cannot withdraw anything from the pool. But keep in mind that some liquidity pools are locked for months, while others are locked for hundreds of years. I think I don't need to tell you that having locked liquidity for a few days is practically the same as having it unlocked. Number 3 to check before investing is token distribution. If one wallet holds more than 20% of the supply, stay away from the project. Because if this wallet decides to sell its holdings, the price will drop significantly. However, you can always check token distribution on websites like Etherscan or Unicrypt and prevent this from happening. What's worse, there is something called a token burning. Burning a coin essentially means sending it to a crypto address that doesn't exist and that no one has access to. You might be wondering, why would someone do that? Imagine I create a token with a total supply of 100 coins and burn 90 out of them. Then, I put 5 coins in a liquidity pool and keep the remaining 5 in my wallet. When someone checks the token distribution, they see that my wallet holds only 5 coins out of the 100 created. That might seem like a good token distribution, but the reality isn't as promising as it may seem. In reality, I own 50% of the total supply that is in circulation. This means that if I decide to sell my tokens, the price would drop drastically. With that said, let's move to another useful tip, checking whether the developer has a multi-sig wallet. Even if a project wasn't created with the intention of being rug pulled, that doesn't mean it can't happen. Multi-sig wallet is a wallet that requires multiple signatures to operate. If a project has a team working on it, one person can't just take a private key and withdraw all the funds. And if the project is legitimate, there is usually a team working on it. Always check for audits. Good projects don't lack third-party security or financial transparency audits. These audits are also very expensive, so a scammer wouldn't pay this much if they were planning to rug pull the project. The next tip may sound useless, but is very important. Before you go big on investment, always try buying and immediately selling a single token. Some projects don't have the ability to sell. This is simply coded into their smart contracts. People can buy, but they can't sell. Once the pool is filled enough, the developer takes everything and disappears. This is also called honeypot scam, which is the second most common type of scam right after rug pulls. Let's move on to the next useful tip, and that is nothing else but volume checking. Volume tells you the quantity in which a project is traded over a period of time. For example, if there is $100 in volume per day, it means tokens worth $100 were bought or sold. If the token is priced at $20, it suggests that someone could sell 3 tokens and someone else could buy 2 tokens. But always look beyond just one day. Long-term projects typically have stable or increasing volume. If a coin has decreasing volume, it means it is being traded less and less frequently, which indicates that people are losing interest. Of course, volume can vary depending depending on market sentiment. In a bull market, everything tends to have a higher volume compared to a bear market. Volume also tells you the strength of the current price. If there is a price increase with a low volume, it suggests that the increase was driven solely by buyers. This is considered as a weak move. On the other hand, if there is a price increase with high volume, it shows that buyers were fighting with sellers and won the fight. This is an example of healthy growth. Also, watch out for sudden spikes in value without a reason. If there is no reason for pumping the price, it could be the result of manipulation by the token's developers. Legit crypto projects take months to years, while scams are made overnight. Always check whether there is a team behind the project, their names, successes, and backgrounds. It's like investing in a stock. You don't buy the first thing you see, but you take a research. You should also look at what others say about the project, and not only their visions. You should also read their source code, white paper if they have one, checking their links and social media. If there is a fishy design or lack uniqueness, something is likely wrong. Once I visited a website where I couldn't click on any button except the one they wanted me to click on. This is a red flag indicating you shouldn't be there. Use checkers. There are many tools that flag suspicious coins during their research, helping you to save time. Use apps like BCScan, Token Sniffer, or Honeypot Detector before you even consider buying something. And now for the final tip. If I could give you just one piece of advice, this would be it. Always be cautious of the fear of missing out, FOMO effect. When you feel like you are missing out, it is the worst time to make decisions. This also applies to legitimate coins, but you should be twice more careful with meme coins. However, there is something I didn't tell you. I lied to you. Also, these are important pieces of advice, it's not everything. There is a second, darker side of crypto scamming that involves more sophisticated and modern techniques. This is also how I was scammed. If you'd like me to make a video about it, let me know in the comments. Have a nice day.